So let's chat a little bit about recruiting. Anybody having a hard time recruiting right now? Yeah, like lots of hands go up, right? Everyone should be having a hard time recruiting right now. The landscape has changed a little bit. It is a little bit more difficult to get employees for us right now. Now here's the cool thing. It was the same as it was 5 years ago. 5 years ago, it was the exact same thing. Today, it's the exact same thing. It's still difficult to do. All we have to do is really kind of hone this skill set of recruiting. So, who's ever seen Glengarry Glen Ross? It's a movie, old movie. Who knows about the ABCs? Not the song that we sing, but like the ABCs of sales. Always be closing, right? Okay, I go with always be recruiting. Okay, we push just as hard for our sales as we should for our recruiting. You 100% want to have a bench or a pipeline for your recruits. I have a stack of resumes at all times that are ready to go for each of my roles within my company. I have 3 to 5 that I touch base with each and every week, each and every month, kind of depending on what the position is, and just check in and say hello. See how they're doing, see how their role is going at their current employer, kind of update on what we're doing, and just kind of nurture and keep those warm until I need them. The last thing we want is to have a dry pipeline or have no resumes and have no one to call on when something happens in our studio, because inevitably it does, right? A studio manager quits, my regional leaves, sales associates quit, get sick, fall off, move away, trainers, whatever. Everything happens, right? And we need to be ready for this. So we want to have this virtual bench, if you will, right? And we need to really focus on having that, building that, and nurturing that. Without that, we end up hiring, and we do so in a need, right? We're like, oh my gosh, I need somebody, I need a warm body. That warm body doesn't necessarily fit us, right? So what I'm looking for is I'm looking for personality. I will always, 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 always hire personality and forget the skill. I don't care what role that is. I was having a conversation with someone yesterday, and I said, I think they said trainers. Trainers are like, I can't find trainers at all. I'm like, this is really easy. About a year ago, I went and bought a truck, right? I hate buying vehicles. I walked in. Before I even got there, I was like, hey, here's the exact truck I want. Like, here's all my info. I'm literally not going to sit there. We're not doing the negotiation thing. Tell me how much it is. I'll bring a check, and we're done. Like, I don't want to be in and out half hour. Seriously. I'm not doing this all day thing. Okay, you got it. Walk in, do the thing, sign the paperwork. Great, Matt, we're going to finish washing the truck for you. You'll be out of here in 10 minutes. Cool. Gentleman walks by, pretty well built, big shoulders, big traps, smiles at me, says, can I grab you a glass of water? I would love a glass of water. Thanks so much. You got it, no problem. Comes back over. I see him walk away. Dude's big, just walking away. And I was like, huh, what does this guy do, right? Comes back with a glass of water, smiling. Hey, here you go. Heard you got a new truck. And I'm like, oh, yeah, that's great. Hey, how long you been selling cars for? About 3 months. I said, you like slanging cars? I mean, it's not bad. I said, be honest, man. Do you like doing this? Like, you look like you'd rather be in the gym. And he goes, well, you know, humbly kind of smiles and laughs. I said, where'd you play ball at? Right? He looked like a football player. Illinois State. I said, you look like that. I tell you what, man, I'm always looking for great people. And then I rolled right into my recruiting pitch, right? Before I left, 10 minutes later with my truck, he was on the phone with my regional manager doing a quick phone screen and setting up an interview. Okay, because what did I find? I found the personality. A, he looked the part. B, he's smiling, he's personable, he's humble. He comes up to me. I didn't purchase my vehicle from him. He got 0 commission from me. He made not $1. He's just walking through, asking, I want a glass of water. This is my kind of guy, right? I want that personality. So I will always hire the personality, and I will train the skill set because we have system and process for that. Whether that's sales, whether that's training, managing, doesn't matter. I need those right people. They have to fit my core values. We talked a lot about core values. I know, hey, Jen touched on it too. We talked about it a little bit yesterday with Matt and Corwin. Having these core values and really defining your business allows us to make all of these decisions, especially these hiring and recruiting decisions, based on who we are as an organization. So when we can get really clear on what we want and what we are, it becomes very easy. Then I can look at this guy and maybe he looks the part. Maybe he has all the experience in the world. But if he can't deliver one of my core values of taking care of my members, he can't play on my team. Be the most decorated resume I've ever seen. But if he's not willing to get me that glass of water, I don't really want him. Right? I can train the skill set. I can't draw personality of somebody who doesn't have it. Okay? So when I'm looking for this personality, right, that's a great way that I can find it, like interaction, quick, easy, but I'm always recruiting, right? I literally had a card on me. Boom, here you go. Let me facilitate this phone call. He talks to my regional. He now works for me, by the way. Yeah, he's an awesome coach for me. He coaches probably about 35 hours a week. He makes a killing, and the members love him. Talk about referrals all day. That man asks for referrals like nobody's business. Super cool to see, right? And all of that came from just me asking him, right? Having a simple conversation and really him getting me a glass of water. So he fit my core values. He fit the purpose of the business. And I allowed him to kind of play into his strengths, which are really important, okay? We can look inside the industry all day long for people, right? Really easy. I need a trainer. Where do I go look for a trainer? Online, right? I can post in Indeed or Craigslist or Jobbing or whatever online platform we're using. I can also go to other gyms. Okay, anybody ever shop someone from another gym? No. Okay. I am not a cardio guy. Yes, a little bit of laughter. I am not a cardio guy, right? This is not my thing. I like to pick heavy stuff up and put it down. I do not get on a treadmill. I don't like all that stuff. That's not my jam. However, when I'm recruiting, my jam is typically the step mill. Why is it the step mill? Because I can sit up on my perch, level 1, mind you. I'm creeping up there. But I can see the entire gym, right? And I see what's going on. I can watch energy, right? Energy and personality for me really go hand in hand. I can watch energy. How is that trainer interacting with that client? Is that front desk person who's walking around and cleaning up, are they smiling, high-fiving, interacting, or are they doing this? Right? That front desk person who's at the front desk, do they smile at me, say hello? Or they kind of grunt and kind of lean back on the counter? Right? I'm watching all of these things. I can see all of these things. Really easy from within our industry. If you guys check out inside of LRVT, there's actually how to have the conversations once we find those individuals, because that's an art form in itself. Right? I'm like, cool. I see that guy. He's awesome energy. I go ask him on a date. This gets weird, right? I'm like, I don't know how we're going to do this, right? So we have that scripted out inside of LRVT on how to have those conversations, okay? So inside the industry, pretty easy to do, right? We're looking at industries that are complementary to us as well. So I'm looking at PTs, I'm looking at chiropractor, I'm looking at massage. Really easy for us to kind of find people that are in the health and wellness space. Again, I can always steal from a competitor. Pretty easy to do as well. A lot of this can happen organically, right? I do go to the gym sometimes. So I went in there personally to work out, and I needed a spot, kind of, right? I saw a big dude. He was smiley. He was personable. He was hanging around with clients, just complimenting, circulating, critiquing the entire floor. So I decided I needed a spot. Hey, man, can you give me a spot? Yeah, no problem. Already I like this guy. Right? Personality works for me. This is great. Cool. He comes over, gives me a spot. He's working out as well. And I was like, cool. Thanks so much for the spot. He's like, hey, you're welcome. Hey, my name. And I was like, get out of here. This is way too easy. I'm like, are you shopping me? I was like, cool. My name's Eddie. I didn't catch your name. And I was like, Matt, right? Nice to meet you, Eddie. He's like, hey, man, if you need anything else from me, holler. I'm just going to finish up my workout, but I'll be around. This guy's awesome. So I'm being the creepy dude in the gym, right? I'm looking for this guy after this, and I'm like, where is my friend Eddie? Boom, Eddie's over there on the bike. And I'm like, I guess I'm doing cardio today. I plopped down on the bike next to Eddie, right? My workout became done. And I was like, all right, we're doing this, I guess. We're pedaling, and I'm like, hey man, you do this stuff often, right? It's like that weird line, like, come here often, right? I'm sitting on the bike next to him, and I'm like, you do this often? He's like, well, I need to. I'm like, I get it, right? Big dude, in shape, smiley, and I'm like, okay, we're sitting there chatting. I did 20 minutes of cardio that day, mind you, so you can hold your applause, but like, that's a lot. So 20 minutes on a recumbent bike, so let's not get crazy. But I had 20 minutes, and in those 20 minutes, what did I do? I talked to him about how long he's been employed at the gym, right? What do you like? What do you dislike? Cool. Did you know I actually own a couple gyms myself, and I'm always looking for amazing people like yourself. Let me tell you what we do. Now, this is key for us, guys, and this is oftentimes in the recruiting process where we miss the boat here. We drop the ball on the vision casting piece. People need to see our business, our place of employment for them, as somewhere they can grow, somewhere they can develop, somewhere there's opportunity for not only professional growth, but personal growth as well. And that becomes very important in this whole vision casting. So here's what we do at Orange Theory, right? It's a HIIT studio, 30 minutes cardio, 30 minutes resistance, halfway through the two-group switch, right? My quick little elevator pitch. I'm giving my unique value proposition, right? Here's what we do. He's like, yeah, I know about Orange Theory. And I'm like, cool, man. Here's why we do it, right? He's a meathead. I'm a meathead. It's really easy. I was like, hey, bro, I'm squatting 500 pounds. You give me a spot? And he's like, yeah, right? And let's go sit on the bike and huff and puff, go level 4, 20 minutes on there, and we're both like dying on the bike, right? We're meatheads. But I'm like, here's why we do what we do. We enjoy this crazy stuff. Our demographic is catered towards those individuals who maybe don't necessarily enjoy that stuff. People who don't really fit our mold, because we're the very small 1% of weirdos who are like, yeah, I love this stuff. Let's get as big as we possibly can. Let's hurt our bodies and let's go feed tons of food and let's go do it again tomorrow, right? Like, that's not what we do. So I'm vision casting, and this is what we do. This is why we do it. This is where we're looking to go. This is how this role would fit into this position, right? End of 20 minutes, guess what he's doing? He's on the phone with my regional manager. Literally, my workout, I crushed my legs, did a little bit of cardio. At the same time, I now have a new trainer. It's really easy in the industry for us to find these people. We just have to get out there and do it. Budget time in your day to make sure that you have time for the recruiting aspect of things. Sitting there and calling resumes works okay, right? Get a decorated resume, I'm like, that's cool. I leave a message for Jen. Maybe she calls me back, maybe she doesn't, right? We understand it's a little more difficult. When I have a face-to-face conversation, I'm like, dang, I like you. I like that personality. Let me begin to sell you on what we do here. Let me begin to draw you in, and you're like, tell me more, right? Now that person shows up to the interview process, and Mike will touch on this more, but I want the people who show up and are excited to sit there with me, who've done a little bit of research on the company above and beyond my 20-minute conversation with them on the bike. Maybe they even come in and grab a workout, right? Again, that's part of my recruiting process. I want them to know what we do. If you can't get behind what I do, I don't need you on my team. That doesn't fit my core values. Does that make sense to everybody? Cool.